Hey guys, Luke here, Fish and Tanks. In today's video, I'm going to be building a patio pond for my brother. Let's see how it turns out. So as you can see, I have this flower pot, and it has this egg crate light diffuser, and on top of the egg crate light diffuser, I have weed cloth, and it's held up by a PVC pipe in this flower pot, and that's going to be the foundation of our patio pond. I'm going to be laying down these big stones here so they can be our foundation stones, our hardscape, what we're going to use for everything. I think they will really contrast good with the mosses and the wood and the water and everything else that we're going to add. For this build, I'm going to be doing a stream. Pretty basic, not too much, but still affordable. I'm going to be adding these smaller stones so that they can be more detail stones. And when I'm placing down the river, it's so that the water can flow over them and make it look more natural than just plain egg crate light diffuser. I think it looked pretty good. I'm clipping the tube back so that I can put it in the right spot that I want. As you can see, I'm putting this wood down. I quite like this piece of wood. I found it in the area that I'm trying to copy what I'm building out of, and just trimmed a piece off a piece of wood. I'm going to reuse that piece. And as you can see, I'm just going to be putting it around in spots. I don't really know what spots I want though. I'm going to be putting these round rocks in the background so that they can be like a leveler for the moss, so that I can put it up higher instead of it being lower than the rocks. So I feel like that'll make it look a lot better. I'm just sticking the fine detailed stones in right now. It's pretty simple. Just sticking the round river rocks in. Just putting them in all of the corners, filling in the gaps, sticking one over the tubing so it stays down. So now I am going to be adding the moss. This is the funnest part, personally my favorite. I love planting a tank. I think it's a lot of fun to do it because it really brings the life into your setups. I'm just putting the pieces of moss down, just organizing them into the clumps I want, and I feel like this tank is really coming well. It's everything I thought it would be, and I feel like it's meeting all my expectations. I really enjoy the way moss adds life into the setup. It just really makes it feel natural, feel like you're in the area feel like you're in this river area, this riverbed. And I found this piece of stone here. I'm going to put it in the left corner. I feel like it'll look really good. And I haven't washed any of this moss. I'm just putting grass into the setup. I think it looks good. I think it works good. And I don't have to clean it, which is great. I mean, less work, better. Just putting in the background, wedging it in the cracks in these areas right here by the water, so I can just bring everything in to make it look more natural and real. Make it feel like you're in the stream area. And just sticking down some of the pieces of wood again, and just the moss area is basically done. Really happy about it. And it's just growing. These roots are getting exposed by the stream, and the water's just pushing all the dirt into the reservoir. I really like the look that the roots give. I feel like it really matches what I'm going for here. It's a river stream. I noticed that some of the weed cloth here was hanging a bit low, so I wanted to trim it so it wasn't falling everywhere. Ugh. Putting that piece of wood back, just patting all the moss down. Found some pretty cool plants. It's just stuff that I found from around. I'll see how it does. I'm not 100% sure. maybe later we could do a video on like how this looks. I don't know. And here I was thinking I should add some water, and I would estimate this patio pond is about 13 gallons, 13, 14, give or take. And yeah, this is just one of the 3 gallons. I'm gonna fast forward and fill up just a little bit more, but yeah. And I'm going to be super gluing all the pieces of wood together so that maintenance can make it easier, and that it's all not just gonna float away, some of them. And yeah, just in case like I bump it or something, move it, it doesn't break or something. I'm going to be adding these Anubias pieces. I was thinking about the Anubias, and then in the long run I decided that the Anubias really wasn't what this tank needed. I was not 100% sure about it. I'm just going to be straightening up the grass. It will do it by itself, but I just wanted to make it look good. I'm going to be taking some of this gravel to fill in the cracks here, because some of the cracks are showing too much and I didn't prefer the way that looked. So yeah, I'm just going to fill that in. It's a combination between like this fine gravel with a little bit bigger, whiter stuff. It's hard to explain. It's pretty cool looking. I quite like it, just filling in the cracks. Yeah. Adjusting some of the roots to make sure they're not too everywhere. And yeah, that's what we got so far. Just gotta put the rest of the water in. As I said, there's more 3 gallons that go into this. It's actually a 13 gallon. But yep, just pouring it in. Okay, I fast forward it so it's not all poured in, and I made a mistake. I turned the pump on and I noticed something. The water itself was running under the rocks instead of over the rocks. So I'm going to take all the rocks out, spray foam them in so that the water runs over the rocks instead of under, because no one likes a stream that you can't really see. So yeah, I'm just going to be using the Great Stuff Pond and Foam, expanding foam. It's the black stuff and it expands really big. I always put way too much than I'm exposed. I can't talk right now. Supposed to. And I'm just going to be shoving the rocks into the Great Stuff gaps and cracks, expanding foam, and yeah, that's just good. Fill in all the gaps so the water can run over it. Got a little bit gloopy at some areas. I do have to rip the foam off because I put way too much, and that's just always a mistake that I have doing it. And it's really a bummer that I have to do this in the middle of the project, almost at the end. I mean, like, it's like, but yeah, it's what happens. You make mistakes sometimes. And I'm just going to be putting everything in, just locking it all tight, making sure it stays firm. And we have to wait like 10-15 minutes for it to harden almost, so like the shell's hardened but the inside's still soft, so I can press it down into the cracks. But some areas I do have to rip off. I got some in my fingers in the water. You should probably wear gloves if doing this, but I didn't have gloves at the moment, so I'm just gonna use my hands. And as you can see, I'm just poking it down into the cracks, real simple like. You should, yeah, just going in the cracks. Just pressing it down. I'm gonna put the gravel I was talking about earlier on it, and just make it look real nice. It's really sticky stuff, so you should definitely have a paper towel or something on hand when you're doing this. and just, yeah, ripping some of it off, make it into a ball, put it in the water. I'll take it off later. Just pushing it all down, making it look nice. It's better when you push it down, because when you rip it up, it kind of gets like this, like, bubbly area inside of it. I don't know a good way to put it, so the water could seep through. So I like just pressing it down instead of tearing it off. It's better to do it, but it's inevitable to tear it off sometimes. I'm thinking the project so far, it's coming pretty good. It's got some good textures so far, and yeah. Pushing all of it down. Just pushing it down. Putting some of the rocks back. And putting the gravel back on. So that gravel I had before. I'm exposing some of the rocks because I put too much foam for the gravel to go like in the gaps. So just gonna expose some of the rocks with my finger there. Just makes it look more natural than just, I don't know, makes it look more built up. I'm going to be taking the excess foam out, just throwing it away in the trash can. It's the best way to do it. And maybe turn on the pump. I'm going to have to adjust the pump with some moss here and a rock, so that the flow is just all over the place instead of just one big fountain. That's the best way I can put it. Just putting that rock down. It's a pretty powerful pump, so it kind of likes to shoot the rock up. Sometimes do have to adjust it every once in a while. But yeah, the water's going. It's looking pretty good. Adding some more of that detail gravel. Taking some more of that foam out. I'm just going to put some of the moss in so it makes it less loud and more enjoyable to the ear. So when I'm sleeping, I'm not hearing water rushing through everywhere. Just going to be touching it up with some moss, more gravel, and that's basically the stream. Yep. Putting that rock back. I used it for dispersing the flow everywhere. And I just want to stick it back in that crack so it looks better. Putting the moss down a little bit more. Yep. Just put a little bit more moss. As you can see, the rock flipped over again, so I have to adjust it. It's kind of a bummer. So I got all the water filled up. I didn't like this patch in the back, so I'm going to make it taller and more lush with this bigger piece of moss. So it has more of like a, kind of like a hilly background, but not too much. It's pretty cool. I found all this moss just around naturally. So yeah. I'm gonna put this this whitish gravel something in the bottom, so when I put fish in here, it'll contrast between the fish and the gravel so you can see them better. And I think it'll look pretty cool. I'm just sticking, it's got a decent volume of water in here, decent volume of land substrate in the back, so yeah. Oh, and also, I put Salvinia minima in this. That's the floating plant you see on the top. So for the fish selection this time, I'm going to be adding green tiger antlers. I really enjoy them. They have beautiful fins, and they work really good for a patio pond because they breed and eat, and that's about all they do. I really think that these could be probably the best fish to put in a patio pond because of how well they do and how well they breed. You can make a pretty good profit off of them too if you do it properly. I think that the light really makes the tank have its own feel to it. It really looks cool at nighttime. It's hard to get shots of it at nighttime because it doesn't quite look the same. But these fish are really personable and they have great personality and they're sure to be a good one.
I had a great time making this patio pond. I think my brother's gonna love it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.